northeast, we're coming up to M56 here. Here we go, M56, another cluster. This is a globular cluster, so we can see it's much, much denser there in the middle. It also looks quite faint, and that's because that's at the edges of our galaxy. Globular clusters tend to form around the outside of a galaxy, whereas open clusters of stars, they're more internal to the galaxy. From here, we're going to be moving up in quite a zigzag up towards the plough. We've got some very nice objects coming up. So first, from M56 up into the Ring Nebula in Lyra, M57, a fantastic remains, a planetary nebula, the remains of a star about the size of our sun that's fallen apart into space. So very different from the supernova remnant we saw with M1, with the Crab Nebula. Smaller stars don't pop with quite as much force as the massive, massive stars that create supernova remnants. So from here, from the Ring Nebula, we're continuing to move up into the sky. We're going to start with M92 here and then move over to M13. So again, really, really dense. And you can really see the difference here between a globular cluster and an open cluster. Another globular cluster, the great one in Hercules, is just over here. So again, we'll zoom in, take a closer look. We can see some prominent stars, but that density there in the center and the sheer number of stars, it's much, much more than what we'd see with an open cluster. Now, from here, we're going to start zigzagging up into the sky, up into the northeast towards the bottom of the plough. So this is useful, of course, because the plough is pretty visible. We can see it up there, and we're starting with just the handle of the plough, just next to the handle of the plough with a very famous galaxy. We're getting into a big run of galaxies here as we take a closer look. So starting here with the Pinwheel Galaxy, M101, lovely pinwheel shape, very similar to the Whirlpool Galaxy. It's got this very clear structure. It is a little bit messier than the Whirlpool Galaxy. We can see that it's not quite as even, not quite as symmetrical. We can compare that to the Whirlpool Galaxy very, very quickly, because the Whirlpool Galaxy, just over here, just on the other side of the bottom of the plough there, Alkaid. So we'll zoom in on the Whirlpool Galaxy. Again, it's just a fantastic galaxy to look at, and it's not alone. As well as the Pinwheel Galaxy, we'll zoom out just a little bit here, keep moving over. We've got the Sunflower Galaxy here, that's M51, so this is M63. And again, named after a sunflower because it's got this lovely spiral shape. Again, a little bit messier, the arms aren't as distinct as the Whirlpool Galaxy, but it's still a fantastic one to look at. And we've still got more galaxies to go. Up above Carcaroli, we've got the Crocs Eye Galaxy. And it's another fantastic, really full-facing galaxy. And we can see this sort of ring of dust and other material around the more central part of the galaxy. It's got a little bit more of an orange colour, which is a sign that it's a slightly older galaxy. And from here, we're moving back in towards the plough or the Big Dipper, but up towards the base here, Alioth, and we've got a couple of different objects that we can see around here as well. So we're moving into M106, which should be, there we go, just up there, just a little bit towards the plough, and it's got this lovely bluish colour, these big arms sweeping out at either side. From there, we're going to keep moving in towards that base of the plough there. We're looking very, very close to the top of the sky, very, very close to almost the zenith. And that means that moving along like this is going to be a little bit trickier. So we're going from M106 over to just above Alioth to a very strange Messier object. You can see this is just a circle. It doesn't have the oblong shape or the cross circle shape. This is a pair of stars. There it is. It's a pair of stars. It's a binary star. It's these two stars next to each other in the sky that look like one star with your naked eye. A very interesting Messier object. You wouldn't expect that a binary star would get mistaken for a comet, but there we are. That's M40. Moving up next to Thecta, which is just the base of this kind of boxy portion of the plough or the Big Dipper here. We're looking for the Vacuum Cleaner Galaxy, M109, another fantastic galaxy, a little bit dustier. You can see it's got this bar structure in the middle. So this is a barred spiral galaxy, another one of the many, many types of galaxy that we have. From here, we're moving out to the front of the front of the plough, down almost towards Polaris. So we're going to have to turn around here. So we're coming down this line from the plough that points down towards Polaris. That's going to get us into the direction of M81 and 82. So there's 81. Bodes Galaxy, lovely front facing. We get to see its spiral structure, and this is another one where, you know, we really do have a pair together. This is the Cigar Galaxy, another spiral galaxy, but we're seeing it more from the edge here. So it's got this very different shape, this lovely reddish nebulosity going on here, which is a sign of the galaxy's activity. So they're two galaxies right down by Polaris. Now this is what we're going to be able to see sort of looking around this part of the sky, staying in between sort of the north and the south. From here, we're going to have to move down into the east. So again, these are objects that will be rising later. You don't have to worry as much about their setting, and they're on a different part of my map, so I'm going to have to turn that around. So we're going from our M81, 82 down under Car Caroli to get to some slightly lower numbers. We're coming down to M3. So back over from the plough, back over to Car Caroli, just down there, and we're coming down from Car Caroli towards Arcturus and a little under Arcturus, or a little above Arcturus, to get to M3. So this is another globular star cluster. Again, we're looking outside of our galaxy, very dense here in the center. And from M3, we can drop right down, almost straight down in the sky to M5. So we're going right down here, quite far down in the sky as we start to get towards the horizon. There we go, M5, the Rose cluster, another globular cluster, but it's got this lovely little ring of stars here that almost gives it the effect of a rose, kind of like they have that dense collection of petals in the center. So that's the Rose cluster. We're going to be zigging back up into the sky now, and this is where things get tricky. We're going to be looking for a collection of galaxies up in the direction of Virgo and Leo. So that means the moon is a big inconvenience. Just a few days ago, the moon would have been out of the way, and just a few days in the future, the moon will be out of the way. So you do need to watch the time of the month as well as the time of the year when you're looking for these things in the sky. So yeah, we're coming down from M3, we're going up towards this, our next object at M53, another globular cluster. Fantastic, a nice dense collection of stars. From here, we're going up, and we can tell by the little oblong shape that we get. Yes, the Black Eye Galaxy, we're going up to another galaxy, M64. Now, once we zoom in here, things are going to get dense. There are a lot of galaxies in this area. This one looks fantastic, very dark there in the center, kind of like a black-eyed pea. It has that dark bit in the middle. The actual peas, the actual food, the black-eyed peas. That's the Black Eye Galaxy. We're going to have to move across a little bit to come to our next galaxy. Here we go, this is M85, another great galaxy. You can see there's a nice spiral galaxy next to it. This is more of a fuzzy looking galaxy that we have here. But we don't even have to zoom out very much. We can just go down, and already we're starting to see more galaxies. We've got the Blow Dryer Galaxy here, M100. We've got the Virgo Cluster Pinwheel, another galaxy, M99, M98. We'll take a nice close look at these as we move along. Really a fantastic detailed galaxy, really bright. Because there's so many galaxies here, we get to see them in lots of different orientations. For example, M98 here, we're seeing it practically from the side, seeing that kind of oblong shape of the galaxy. With the Blow Dryer Galaxy, we're seeing it pretty much front-facing. Same with the Virgo Cluster Pinwheel. Pretty much full-facing, very similar to the Pinwheel Galaxy, a little bit asymmetrical. And galaxies, you know, they're dynamic things. They can change their shape. They can be bent and twisted by the gravity of other objects around them. So they don't always look like perfect spirals. You can see here, coming down from the Virgo Cluster Pinwheel into the bulk of the Virgo Cluster, we've got a lot of galaxies here that are Messier objects. These two in particular are part of Markarian's chain, which is a chain of galaxies. So once you're looking in here at these two Messier objects, you have loads of these other galaxies showing this progression across the sky, some of them showing distortion from the gravity of other objects around them. So they're a fantastic group of galaxies to look at. Here's the Virgo Galaxy, which is a big lenticular globular kind of galaxy. So very different to a globular cluster. This is the size of a galaxy and quite a large one, but it has that fuzzy, blobby, round shape, just like M89 here next to it. And if we head back up to M90, we're back to that kind of spiral shape, the classic shape of the galaxy. So we do get to see a lot of different types of galaxy here in a lot of different orientations as we move through. There's M58 as we move through this collection of galaxies that we see here in Virgo. Lenticular galaxies, spiral galaxies, seeing them from the front or from the side gives us a great chance to really enjoy all the different galaxies that are visible. We're continuing to move down because we've just got more and more of them. There's M49. We'll continue moving down another spiral galaxy here, M61, the swelling spiral galaxy, a really lovely spiral. From here, we're going to zip up towards Leo. So we're moving up into the tail of Leo here. This is when the moon on the 23rd would really be a problem. It's really right in that area. So this is something that we need the moon to be out of the way for. Coming up to M66, I hope. There we go. There is one of the Leo triplets. If we take a closer look here, there's one Leo triplet. There's the other Leo triplet, 66 and 65, or 66 and 65 altogether. Just above them up there, there's our dark leading edge, this dust lane of another galaxy in the Leo triplets. We're going to move just a little bit across the sky to get to another nice dense collection of galaxies. We've got M105 here, another lenticular galaxy. In fact, if we take a look in here, we can see that it's an E1, so this is a big fuzzy kind of galaxy. This is a spiral galaxy. You see it's got SAB, so it's a spiral. We've got that SE for elliptical, S for spiral. Here's another spiral galaxy, M59, or M95, sorry, starting to get slightly mixed up. So that's M95. From here, we're nearly done. We're going to move down into the sky. That's going to bring us to M45, and this is another time where we're going to be moving forward in time. So we're coming down into the sky here towards M45 as soon as I can find it. So we're coming down here from M45 down towards Spica, but not all the way to Spica. This brings us to the Sombrero Galaxy, M104, a fantastic Messier object. It's got that lovely dark line along its side. Then from here we can zig down just a little bit, which should bring us to M68. There we go. I was thinking of a different object in the sky. There's M68. This is another globular cluster in the sky. But we do have one more. If we zag back down towards the horizon, the southern Pinwheel Galaxy looks very, very low, but by now we are after getting a little bit later, and that brings it just a little bit higher into the sky. Another lovely Pinwheel Galaxy. We can see, because it's so low to the horizon, it's looking a little bit faint here, but if we did get rid of that atmosphere, it would be just as beautiful and bright as all of those other galaxies we've seen. So from here, we're already up to 11 o'clock. To see much more, we would have to move past midnight. So from here, we're going to have to leave it for our next video. But I hope you get a chance to see at least some of those many, many objects, and I hope you join me next week when we'll catch the rest.